YTBC, what's the deal? So I just want to give some shine to a hometown fighter out of Minnesota, Robert Brant. He will be headlining the Shobox fight card this Friday. He's going to be fighting a guy named Lewis, the Unknown Rose. Well, first of all, let's go over the records. Brant is 17-0 with 11 knockouts. Rose is 13-2-1 with 5 KOs. Brant is a guy that I actually sparred, what was that, about 5 years ago now. Yeah, I actually sparred him a few months after he won the 2010 Golden Gloves when he won the national tournament. Then I believe he won it in 09, and I know he won the U.S. Nationals in 09. He was a highly ranked amateur light heavyweight. You can Google his name. You can watch his fights here on YouTube. I know he is, even though he lives in Minnesota, he lives here, but, you know, he says 8 weeks out from his fights, he goes down to Dallas and he's trained by Derrick James. Most of you know Derrick James is the trainer of Errol Spence, and he gets work in with Jermell Charlo. So he's getting some good work, you know. I know Robert, I know he turned amateur, I want to say 2007. Then within a year and a half, he won his first national tournament. If you guys don't believe me, like I say, go ahead and Google it, man. Guys like that, you got to keep an eye on, man. Guys that, you know, turn amateur, you know, and, you know, they're amateurs for a year or two. The next thing you know, they're winning national tournaments. You know, people like to, you know, rag on the amateurs and say, oh, that guy fights like an amateur. I think we need to start separating, because there's highly ranked amateur fighters, and then there's like novice level amateur fighters. So, but he was a real good amateur. Like I said, I actually got a chance to get in there with him. And me, most of you guys know I've said this a million times. I'm about 6'5", about 230 pounds. You know, Robert's about six feet. You know, he's like 100. I don't know how much he weighed at the time, but I know he was competing at 178 in the amateurs. And I got in there with him, and he actually called me out for some work. So that lets me know, you know, that he's a fearless young man. You know what I'm saying? This was 5 years ago. There's no reason in the world why he should have feared me, because I'm bigger. But I'm just letting you know, wasn't, oh, I'm not going to spar that big guy. You know what I'm saying? He got in there and sparred me, being outweighed by, 50 pounds. You know, I'm curious to see how it looks in this fight. You know, it's just one fight at a time. His resume, for a lot of you boxing heads out there in the YTBC, you know, his resume as far as accomplishments in the pros, and you know, he's doing what he has to do for a guy that's up and coming. You know, but this Shobox against Luis Rose, even though his record isn't something that catches your eye, it's still a cagey type of fellow he's in there with. Somebody's going to try to outbox him, take him rounds. And I know when Rose gets hits, I'll try to watch a few of his fights. When he gets hit, he will, bite down on that mouthpiece and come forward and throw shots, you know. So then I was reading something. I read the local paper here. They were saying that Brant, if he wins this fight, they're going to try to move him up. They're going to try to move him up and possibly be top 15 ranked in the WBC. I know Rose was ranked number 40th, and I know this fight is for the WBC Continentals America's Championship or something. So it's like a minor WBC belt, but we know with the WBC, the more of their belts you win, you know, you get into the top 15, and then, you know, you probably have to fight for an interim title or the silver title, and then eventually you'll be the WBC champion. We know how it works. So yeah, just watch the fight, man. Just trying to give some props to a local talent, and hopefully Rob wins this fight, man. YTBC, I'm out.